Hello and welcome to VibeCoding Like a Pro. So just to recap, guys, if you didn't watch my last video, I'm gonna put it somewhere around here or there, but go watch my last video. To recap, what I was explaining you in the last video is that you cannot just one sentence prompt your way into building real world apps, and that it requires a bit more of, deliberate product creation and product design to build proper apps using VibeCoding platforms. And so what we saw last time, just for a quick recap, is that you want to think as a product manager, right? You want to think, who is this product for? Why does this person or this target user needs this product? How is it going to solve this problem? And what are we building? Are we building a website, a demo, an app, an API, right? So if you remember all of this from the last video, we want to think of the exact person that we are targeting as our target user. We want to understand why do they have this pain? Why do they need to solve this problem? If the why is not strong enough, you're not gonna get paid for the product. How do we solve it is basically the flow. So you want to think of user stories, app flows, what happens in which order, what are the inputs, what are the outputs, and then what is the final product? How are we delivering this product? Is it going to be a mobile app? Is it going to be a website? Or is it just going to be like a live community? And then the second part is how we design the prompt. Now, what I prepared is an actual template for you. If you follow along this video, at the end of it, I'm going to show you not only the template that I use to guide you through this prompting for a VibeCoding platform, we're gonna do and test that template live in this video. Okay, so stick with me. Watch my last video to understand how you build a good prompt. So you want to train the AI to become a world-class product manager, industry expert in the specific industry that you're solving. You want them to understand user psychology. So all those properties you want to give the AI LLM to become before you even start prompting them. And then the context is you want to tell them what you're doing, right? I'm working with a VibeCoding platform and I want to build this kickoff prompt that will allow me to build something unique. And then once you have that, you take what you built on the who, why, how, and what part, and you use it as the part of your specific request. Here is the description of the product that I'm building, right? And then what you want to do is, what I do usually is I want to first generate the PRD so that I can attach it to the VibeCoding platform so it has a wider context on how to build the app. And then we want to also get the final kickoff prompt, right? So then what we're going to do, and we're going to do it live in this, I ran them so that we are going to save the time, but I'm going to show you the results in this video. We're going to let ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Grok compete. And then once they give us the results, I'm going to compare them with you. And I'm going to also then input them into Loveable base in my code. In my case, I was using also Bolt.new and the new Gemini platform. So now in this video, what we're going to do, instead of expanding on all of these concepts, which you can watch in the last video, we are going to do the live example. Right? So if you're ready for it, let's get to it. So what we're going to see is, first of all, from what I explained you, I have a kickoff prompt template that you can use. So if you're watching this video and you want this template, it's just 3 simple pages and 2 of them if you reduce the spacing. But what you want to do here is you want to start answering these questions and you want to fill it out before you start prompting the LLM, right? You fill this template up, and then you'll get a result like this, right? I want to build, and I want to give you just a bit of context of what I'm building, right? I approached Gary Cardone not long ago. He was joining us Spaces. I saw he followed me. And so I told him, hey, I confused him. I didn't, there was a Grant Cardone and Gary Cardone. So I referred to him as, hey, Grant, thanks for the follow and stuff. And he told me, well, you better get my name right at first. And so I was I was so embarrassed about confusing him because, I didn't know they were like two twin brothers that I thought, well, how could I make it up to him? So what I did is actually went, researched him, understood what he's all about, and saw that he was building, he had this website that he hadn't yet built, and it was kind of a template. So I just went up and I made all the research. I brought all his projects, his products, what he's all about, the books that he's recommending, and I just built, vibe coded his website and just sent it to him. So, long story short, he looked at it. He told me, listen, I love this. Let's move forward. And now we are kind of on conversations on how can we, implement this in his website, which is basically just, transferring this website to his own domain. And that kept me thinking, right? How about I build a system that can do this automatically? And this is what we're going to be building live for you on this sample. And here is the template that I'm giving you for free after you DM me in a very simple manner. Okay, so here is my answers to the who. Right? We want to focus on celebrities, KOLs, influencers, and people that answer the following categories, right? We want to have over 100K followers. They have no personal website, or there's a very, not well polished, or they're just posting their link tree or whatever, right? They're working within a digital industry. They have an online business, and they're probably like high net worth, or they can pay for a service like this. Right? And what is the pain that you are solving? Now, the problem that I want to solve is the hassle and time-consuming task of building or launching a personal website for influencers or KOLs, and what do we want to save them is time, money, and effort by creating a website in their own style, aligned with their personal taste. Now, the how is what are we going to, how the user flows. Well, so my idea for this product is I want them just to input their name, and then I'm going to perform a simple Google search just to, in case they have a name that's very popular, so they can choose exactly which person this is. And then what we want to do is we want to perform a much deeper search where we gather their social media, their products, their offered services, and their lead magnets, and everything that they're offering basically, and gather the images. And then we want to craft a very, top-notch personal website prompt, so that then we would inject this prompt into the system and create this sample website for them to then reach out to them and offer it to this people. Now the what, right? So initially I will be running this as a service agency. So maybe the first stage is just building an internal tool that I'll be building the stuff and then offering it to the people. And maybe the next stage is, okay, let's open it up to the broader audience and let's say, enter any name, build this website. And if you like it, you can pay for it, purchases, or whatever. That would be the business model. So this is my template filled out. Now, through this, what I did is, as I told you in the example, I gave it to ChatGPT, I gave it to Grok, and after giving them this template, I told them, listen, I want you to, let me take you back to the prompt. The initial prompt is, hey, the persona, you're now a world-class sought-after AI product builder. You're an expert in AI influencer marketing. I'm building an amazing platform that, given a simple first and last name, the platform will search the individual, acquire all the available data about him or her, and build an amazing custom website for this influencer. That's a simple context, right? What I will give you is a who, why, what, and how the agency, and this will build a personal website AI builder. So now, as you can see, what I'm doing here is I am injecting the template after I crafted the prompt, and I'm giving in the platform details, and then I'm giving you what I want you to provide, right? At this stage, I want you to provide me an entire PRD in a way that I can, copy paste it, give it to developers, and have it as a guiding document to build the approach. Now, here's an extra tip that I use for LLMs, which I was taught by Ruben Hassid. If you guys don't know him, go follow him on LinkedIn, which is take a deep breath and think deeply before you answer. It turns out that the LLMs try to really simulate your thoughts. So whenever you told them to take a deep breath and that speed is not crucial, right? What I'm saying is the time to answer is not the crucial factor here, but the quality of the result is what you're measuring. And then a bit of a, threat or pressure is like you're being compared, and this is the truth, you're being compared to other models and other LLMs. So make sure you shine your brightest. This is kind of, okay, you got, the people are watching, like you're being measured. So I gave this to ChatGPT, I gave this to Grok, I gave this to Claude, and I gave this to Gemini. And let me tell you guys that, spoiler alert, I think the big surprise from this whole process was actually Gemini, the new Gemini Pro 3 model. I think this gave me a very, very concise prompt, but also a very actionable one. So I'm kind of taking a deeper look into it because they also published their new VibeCoding platform, which is AIStudio, that is basically a VibeCoding platform but built by Google. So now I'm going to show you the documents, and then I'm going to show you a follow-up prompt, and then we're going to get into the VibeCoding platforms. Okay, so here we go. Here is the results from, you see, I got it into a PRD from ChatGPT, from Gemini, from all these different platforms. And then what I told them, that like the follow-up prompt that I gave them once they did the PRD, right? First of all, I got that PRD into a document. As you will see now, I separated it by who gave me what. So if this is the cloud, for example, and you'll see the very, very stark difference between a PRD, which is a product requirement document for the one who don't know, and an actual VibeCoding prompt, right? This is very well detailed. And I wanted to have this so that I have not only a prompt, but that I also have like a roadmap, right? And then what I prompted the AI is the following. Told him, okay, now that you build this, so now that you build this PRD, so you have a deeper understanding of what we're building, you're going to have to think of user flows, page interactions, what is the progress, what does the success result look like, what does the failure look like, right? So you're not going into the vibe coding and just, prompting away process until you have these answers thought out by the LLM. Like AI is going to allow you to think through this, but you have to prompt them in a way that the AI is already thinking of this, right? So my follow-up prompt is, okay, great work, right? Now, given the PRD that you just created and the platform description I gave you, now give me an initial kickoff prompt to provide my vibe coding platform that will get me the closest to a finished product with a single prompt. And so here you'll see the master kickoff prompt that Gemini gave me. It gave me a great result. I'm going to show it to you now. And then you see it's very, very short and concise. And I have the same kickoff from, okay, no, this is not, from Google. I am also running one with Grok, which gave me a short one. And I think this is a good one to check. So this is what I did with ChatGPT. I first ran this prompt and it gave me something else, but then I changed the model to 5.1 thinking. Okay. And then it gave me a really good like PRD and kickoff prompt. So right now I'm going to show you how I'm going through this, and I'm going to show you how I activated this prompt. So first and foremost, the disappointment so far was, I think, Bolt.new, because I don't know if it's a matter of credits, but it created just a, bland white page with a, create a new project. And it's basically a boilerplate build, start a new project type of website. This is definitely not what I was looking for. So Bolt.new in this particular example was let down. Now, the one that I really like that I'm going to explore further is this AIStudio by Google, because I like the way that it is thinking and then displaying the UI. This is the first time that I'm actually interacting with it. The problem that I'm already seeing with it is that when you want to deploy an app, you're going to have to set up a Google project. You're going to have to set up your Google Cloud account. You're going to have to set up the billing for this. So this process is what apps like, like platforms like Loveable and Base have already solved for you. And they're just going to charge you credits and they're going to take care of the interface. So that's why I'm going to focus on my two currently favorite platforms, which are Loveable and Base. So as you can see here, this is the Gemini prompt. I really like the initial prompt that it built for my agency. And then this is much better. So this is the Gemini prompt. And you can look at the result. Like, look at this result. It's professional, clean, slick, right? But then if I use I think this was the Claude prompt, it's like a bit more, it's a bit more boilerplate. It's a bit more generalized. I mean, it's still how we described it, but already from the get-go, you can see that it's not that well thought out. Whereas this is like, let's give it a try. Okay, it says, okay, let's take like Alex Hormozi, for example. If you know him, great business coach. Okay, so now, it's obviously not getting the real images. So that is something we're going to have to work with the AI. But it's actually, doing the research, giving me this initial prompt for the VibeCoding platform. And yeah, this is more of kind of this public-facing website, right? So the ones that I built in Base 40, kind of the same approach with this type of public building agency. Now, you can see here that it gave me another type of approach for this agency. I also like it. I like that it gives examples. I like the structure of it. I also requested it to give me a light and dark. This is a great division of user characters, right? Am I a creator and I want this to build myself, or I'm an agency and I want to offer this as a service? So this approach, I like it because according to the user, it's going to give them a different access. So I might take this forward. And the last one that I built is more of an internal management. So this was ChatGPT's agency dashboard. And this is much more to build the agency as a proper agency. So I'm going to manage projects and then have my reach out. But the bottom line that I wanted to show you is that this kickoff prompt that you're building through this process is going to be much more accurate, and it's going to give you much better results than what you would get with just a boilerplate website or remixing an existing one, right? So all in all, I'm going to now get into the process of, which is like the third and most intense part of the VibeCoding process, which is starting to craft feature by feature, verifying that it works, anything that does not work or does not look proper, then you'll have to fix it and start working with the AI back and forth until you get that final result. So hope you like this second part, which is the live example of me going through the process that I showed you in the last video. If you didn't watch my last video, go check it out now. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the process, and I'm going to see you on the next one. So take care. Bye.